Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to be building a dice roller for a D&D games and whatnot. What's gotten me to go ahead and do this again, because I've built a few in the past, one for myself and two for a friend of mine, and my son, building this one for my son. Ever since I built those, he's been wanting one so bad, and now I'm going to go ahead, and since he's in school and I got today off, I'm going to go ahead and build one for him and give it to him for Christmas. So if you're near my son and it's before Christmas, don't show him this video yet. So we are going to be doing, just simply making it out of some 2x8, some plywood, and some 1xs, various sizes of the 1x. So I'll show you the process of it all and everything, the way I've done it. You guys might actually get pretty entertained by this, and might actually want to be able to make one yourself. So I'll go along and I'll try to explain it to you the best I can on the ways on stuff that I found out that works better than, sometimes works better than others than it does another way. So, like on this 2x8, I'm going to be using this 2x8. Now I found out that, hold up, trash truck. Found out that a full 2x8 almost always consistently throws the dice out of my little catch tray. Almost consistently always does. And I found out also that a 2x6, knocking this down to 6 inches, that doesn't always have a consistent roll at the end of it. So I found out that about 7-inch stand-up works best. 6-inch over, 7-inch over a 45. So whatever that equates out to, I don't remember. So it is a 45-degree cut from 7-inch. So I'll show you that. You'll see all this in the video. So we'll go ahead and get this here going, and I do also make a like a 2.5 inch or so stand at the top. That way you can put the dice on and be able to roll it. Like I said, you'll see it all once I get it all put together and everything. So, alright, let's go ahead and get this going. So cut it from 45, and then here cut a little bit more, because so what you want to do is pull from a 7-inch, pull your 7 inches and mark it. So yeah, 7 inches, and then from your, then you can at least make your landing here. See, we can do 1.5 inches, and that will be, that there will be our landing. There we go. That is our actual run where the dice will go down. Alright, so I would be using my bandsaw, but it is currently not working. Only because I don't have a blade for it right now. I've been waiting on a blade on order for a while now. But with all this stuff that's been going on in the world, things are just always getting pushed back. But with this, okay, so back to this. So I gotta use this old scroll saw. It's actually a very old one. Old sucker. But so far, actually, I've had it for several years. I shouldn't say several, 3 or 4 years now. And it has served me well. So I just gotta go a lot slower than I would with the bandsaw. But okay, so with this, what I do, I just guesstimate it. I don't do precise measurements on it. But I do about every ½ inch to 1 inch increments down this entire angle, and I notch it out. And those notches, I do about 3/16 or 1/4 inch, something like that, notches all the way down this. That way that when the dice goes down here, it actually has grooves to be able to start tumbling down. And I found out that that works really well. So okay, so this is what it looks like, notched out. I was a little inconsistent, but as long as you have don't go below ½ inch and don't go over an inch, you should be fine. It's somewhere in that median, like 3/4 of an inch. It's probably optimum. But as you can tell here, I left this bottom stretch wide open. I didn't go ahead and put another one in there. So the reason for that is for this foam. This will be the catch. I'll cut it down to size and everything later. But what I found out is if I just simply leave this here and butt it straight up to it, the dice will get caught right here because the foam is above the edge of the dice. They get caught right there quite a bit, or the ones that don't will hit it and bounce up and out of the catch. So what I'm going to do is cut out a notch big enough to where this foam would slide right in there. And I only go about 3/4 of an inch or so into this wood, into the end of this. That way this will actually sit on top like that. Alright, so see, this will now sit comfortably right on top of there. So it'll hit here and just roll on out here. Whoop, oh, I'm way off screen. See, I see it'll sit comfortably on top, just like that. And oh, dice will roll up and hit this and cushion the fall. That way it doesn't go bouncing out. All right, now on to getting the landing area set up. All right, for this, we're just going to be simply using a piece of plywood as the main landing, and we are also, for the cache, for the walls, be using some of this here, and that way the dice will remain contained within the walls of here. That way they don't go flying. Cut this down to size. You want to have this just to where it will be a tight fit get inside there. That way you can just kind of push it in. This here will act like a back so it doesn't fall off the back end of this. So mark this. Alright. And that is the deck. That is the size of it all. I need to roughly center it. Alright, so now we're going to make side walls for this to help keep the dice contained inside the track whenever you go to roll it. What I do here is when I set it up, I usually do about an inch all the way across on this, around the perimeter of it. That way it stays within, that way it helps keep the dice within the boundaries of this. So I do about an inch or so, 'cause that's about the size of the dice. And I also out here at the end, what I normally do is I end it at that notch. And voila! You can see it coming together now. Alright, then over here, we need to go ahead and get the back set up using this piece of 1x. Starting to come together pretty good now, huh? So now what I want to do is go ahead and build a little tray to put the dice in, a little bag of dice, or just simply the dice itself, like this. So before I put this, mount this onto here, I'll be able to put this on, be able to mount it to that directly a little bit better. Be a little bit stronger that way. As you know, kids. Alright, so let's go ahead and slap these together real quick. Alright, so a little bit of wood glue. I always use wood glue. This one just so happens to be Gorilla Glue. That's why you always want to pull your hands away whenever you're bradding, because they'll come out the sides just like that. Alrighty. So I got that together. I gotta figure out exactly where this is gonna land. Over here. Alright, that ain't going nowhere. Alright, so now I need to get this on here. Alright, so that is on there and positioned well. Then now you can base everything else off of this panel. So now what you can do is, of course, make sure that your track here is clean. So it just happens to have a little bit of dirt on it. need to do is the border goes across here. So these are all custom fits, so I'm not going to worry about measuring it out or anything. So that's another good practice to do whenever you're cutting two pieces for the same project out of one piece for two different sides. You want to mark it in some manner, like 1, 2, numerical or alphabetical. What I did was L and R to be able to determine which one is which. And I marked it on the piece I'm cutting and on the board. Now, just for the sake of it, I put a piece in these gaps to keep it from bouncing off the walls and rolling out this way. Alright, so heat guns up. Let's do little swatches here and there and go from there. You do have to be careful with this because it will try to burn through the styrofoam. So just be careful whenever you're doing this. And it's not like you need a whole lot, just little squirts here and there to get to lay it out. That's all you really need. And this is just simply to hold it in there. I do this with all of the ones I've ever done. Alrighty, so now for the official test. Let's hold it pretty good. Do the D20. Pretty good. That's D8. Yeah. D4. D9. I think. No, this one's the D4. That was D6. This one's the D4. See, I usually have issues with this D4 anyhow, with this setup, but it's a weird dice, so. D12. D100. And this one's the D9. See how well that one bounced? Yeah, the more size are on it, the better they roll. So that's it. That's how this is done. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and jump up to the house, do the video verse, along with I'm going to put a little deal on here for him, and that'll be it. Alright, so bottom of this, I'm just going to simply put who it was made by. That way, if this winds up getting handed down and not thrown away, grandkids and so on will know who made it. So, that's the dice roller. Pretty neat little setup, I think. It's worked out pretty well. I mean, I've used it. Actually, I'm going to be using it tonight. Heck, all the ones except for this one are actually going to be, the ones that I made are actually going to be used tonight as of the making of this video. Because we actually got a D&D session tonight, so this is the way I got it set up. This is the way I do it. I mean, there's several different varieties of this. Lots of different people make different styles of these. This just so happens to be my style of them. It's really easy for me to make them, so it only takes, well, if I'm not videotaping, it only takes about an hour or so to make these fully, roughly an hour. So I like them. So now on to the video verse. Now this one is in Genesis chapter 9, 1 through 7. This is right after the flood of Noah. And it says, "And God blessed Noah and his sons and told them, Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth, all the animals of the earth, all the birds of the sky, all the small animals that scurry along the ground, and all the fish in the sea will look on you with fear and terror. I have placed them in your power. I have given them to you for food, just as I have given you grain and vegetables. But you must never eat any meat that still has the lifeblood in it. And I will require the blood of anyone who takes another person's life. If a wild animal kills a person, it must die. And anyone who murders a fellow human must die. If anyone takes a human life, that person's life will also be taken by human hands. For God made human beings in his own image. Now be fruitful and multiply and repopulate the earth." And that's Galatians chapter 9, 1 through 7. And I will see you in the next one.